Okay, deck tech for the next evolution, and well, pretty basic stuff here, but okay, here's the plan, I think. So some takeaways. Even with only 4 colorless lands, sometimes we were playing for a while, basically 16 white sources plus basically we were playing 4 castles plus 12 plains plus 4 Field of Ruins. The thing is, Field of Ruin, even like when it's only as a 4 of, it was still kind of color screwing us a bit. And I guess it's color screwing us more than the Obosh Hammer deck because we have 16. We have 20 red sources in that deck because we have the 16 mountains basically, or the 11 mountains, 4 fetch lands, one Shinka, and then 4 Spike Field Hazard, so that's a total of 20 red sources. I think 20 red sources is perfectly fine, and the fountains are basically just a free roll from that point on. But yeah, but here with only 20 lands, sometimes those Field of Ruins were color scoring us. That was just making me kind of miss the Flagstones and the Ghost Quarters. I do want to have at least some, utility land type card, but I just really did like how Ghost Quarter was pretty free with Flagstones. Because a lot of times we didn't need it to go hit a manland or hit an Urza or something, but it was always nice to have available to us, and also we can just hit the Flagstones just to give us more white mana if need be and fetch more, and yeah, and I think that's going to be pretty good overall for us. Yeah, another takeaway is we were siding in Path like almost anyway, like Path is definitely a main deckable card, especially because like even if you're facing like a control deck, pathing your own creature, and something I also didn't realize at first, but we can actually Solitude and then path it when it's on the stack, and sometimes like against like a deck that has relatively limited creatures, that could be a good use of like imagine we're against a control deck and we have like 2 paths, a Solitude, and like other stuff, we can basically ramp ourselves there. I mean, it's kind of janky ramp, but like we can kind of ramp ourselves by just exiling the path, playing the Solitude, pathing our Solitude before the evoke trigger resolves, and then maybe boost us to like Battle Scroll or something. I know that's kind of janky, and obviously it'd be better if there was at least 1 creature in play to hit. But even if there's 1 creature in play to hit, sometimes you just need to get your extra mana, and then you can then Path is kind of free. Path is kind of like a 1 mana rampant growth at that point. You can Solitude. And then just path it when it's on the stack, and yeah, path is just definitely path. Like it's not the best. I think Solitude is definitely a better removal spell, but path is definitely second best in white still, and it has a lot of application. It's never dead, and it's almost never dead. And yeah, and so you see, the only thing is what to cut. We were loving the Wall of Runes in our Ephemerate, Charming Prince, Flickerwisp build. And we were definitely liking the Thraben Inspector, but we weren't liking the Thraben Inspector as much as the Wall of Omens, because the Wall of Omens is it draws a card outright instead of producing its clue token, so you don't have to sink more mana into drawing more cards. It has higher toughness, so you have to use more than 1 lightning bolt. Like basically, it's hard for them to remove it in response to Ephemerate with like a burn spell. Also, even if they do, it drew you a card, so there is a lot to like. There's a lot to like about Wall of Omens. So we're gonna actually cut the Thraben Inspectors for the paths. I think Wall of Omens is still gonna impress. Flickerwisp, of course, always good. Skyclave, Solitude. These are mainstays. The Caldera just upping the clock a lot, and sometimes even casting it for 7 mana. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Just 7 mana is actually more achievable than we thought. Yeah, I mean, I've been liking these cards. Since we are playing the Flagstones again, we're going back to Relic plus Sanctifier, but honestly, Relic plus Sanctifier is a really good combo anyway, because Sanctifier is excellent for the Masters where you need the Pro-Red. Relic, well, Rest in Peace is better against pure dedicated graveyard hits. Sometimes Relic is better against decks like Jund and stuff, where they use the graveyard, but they're not like totally all in, and then the card draw can really matter. Eidolon's still great for toughness, great against Lightning Bolt, prevents multiple spells. I have been noticing, though, that they've been playing Foundation Breaker against us, against the Cascade decks, and, you know, we'll see if that continues to be a problem or not, but for now, I've been liking it. If we run into, like, basically, if, like, Prowess is overrunning the meta, this is definitely better, but if Cascade is overrunning the meta, then probably Archon is better, but we'll see. Alright, until next time, let's see how the games go, and, yeah, like and subscribe if you like this content, and, alright, let's get to it. Alright, match 1. Blink Blade, mono white Blink Blade. Let's try this like slight modification. Unfortunately, I have to mulligan that. Unfortunately, I have to mulligan this too. Man, like, we might be able to help with the Mana Flood with the Horizon lands, but it's still kind of brutal with the Mana Screw sometimes. Well, gotta take our chances here. And I think we've got to really hope hard that this Wall of Omens and, you know, Charming Princeing it, Ephemerating it, whatever you call it. Oh, opponent mulls to 4 cards, so maybe opponent's in even a worse spot than us. We thought we had it bad. Maybe they have it worse. That was brutal with a capital B, though, having to mull those 2 hands. I don't think that that's a problem with the mana base. I don't think our mana base could be any more solid. No comes into play tap lands. You know, like, only colorless sources are Ghost Quarters, which can even combine with Flagstones to, you know, can even combine with Flagstones to make white. So I don't think our mana base has ever been more solid, and that's unfortunate because we were kind of counting on that. Alright, and the roughness begins. Alrighty. Well, this could be our ticket to actually playing something if they play a creature, but ideally we would like them to play 2 creatures, because just solituding 1 creature and ephemerating, I mean, it's not like the worst thing in the world, but it's also a little bit mediocre. Well, looks like we're going to have to do it, though. Alrighty. I think we can ditch an Ephemerate. Hopefully the Charming Prince takes us the rest of the way. Yeah, this was not my intended use of Ephemerate when I put Ephemerate in the deck, but we'll take it. We're both dealing with an extremely screwy hand situation. I was ready to say no to casting this. And the screwy hand situation continues, unfortunately. Because we're attacking with a Solitude. I mean, could be worse. I think we've got Mana Flood under control, but Mana Screw, sometimes, I don't know. Okay. Oh, yeah. Maybe that was a mistake to ditch the other Ephemerate. Alrighty. Only cycling Unearth is better than unearthing a Lightning Skeletal. Probably Charming Prince. I guess we could play Mortipod, and I guess that kind of defends us against future Lightning Skelementals. Alright, well, I guess we're going to have to Solitude that. Or maybe we just Path. I don't like giving them mana, but something tells me that we're going to be okay. And I guess we have to Solitude that. Or maybe we can Mortar Pod. Come on! Yes! We did it! We got there! Alright, now I'm just kidding. Being a little sarcastic. Man, it would have been so sweet to Mortar Pod that thing. Well, I put the Horizon Lands in as you know, my as some of my followers suggested. Unfortunately, not quite helping out here, but at least they might help with the Mana Flood. Probably Charming Prince. If they got another Bob though, Mortar Pod could be good. Jeez, about time. Oh my goodness. Jeez, that was brutal. I don't know if they're just like bluffing a land in their hand or something, then like Stoneforge Mystic might put us back in the game. Okay, well that's kind of counterproductive to our get back in the game plan. But if it's just this, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, nice. Being a little sarcastic, but nice. Question is, do we hold on to this? And I think the answer is no. I think we chump block and then ping. This turns anything we draw into a ping spell, including a Wall of Omens. Come on, please, not another Seasoned Pyromancer. Yeah, block and ping. Okay. Well, I guess little by little. How likely are they to play Castle Lochthwain? That's the question. I guess something in their hand that they might like. Or not. I guess they, yeah. I think that's correct to pitch. You want to threaten going ultimate. Okay, okay. This is going to just get discarded anyway if we don't play anything. So it's going to get sacked, but I think what we have to do is we have to get sort of Fire and Ice, because anything else will just get discarded. I mean, this could get discarded, but if they sack, maybe we just play it on our turn. And then the long, winding road to possibly coming back could occur. Okay, Croxa. I guess this means Rest in Peace is a good option. Yeah, well, if we draw like a path, then maybe we're still in the game. I know that we have Aether Vial, we could start putting stuff into play in a turn. There's like a possibility as long as we deal with Croxa. I don't like doing this, but I think I have to. This is just going to get discarded now. Hoping for Path, obviously. Okay. Like, I'm not really scared of Croxa on a conceptual level, because I do have lots of Exile and removal. But obviously it's a kind of threatening thing right now. Yeah, this is just GG. Well, I guess I can gain 3 life. No, I didn't need to show them this because they just sacrifice it and then attack for 8 or 11 to be precise. Oh, Sanctifier. I think that's where it's at. I don't think we really need Relic. Sanctifier. That's gonna be the ticket, I think. Ephemerate. So I'm not conflicted with Ephemerate. Ephemerate's excellent against the removal, but it's very mediocre against their discard. And then again, we're already holding stuff in hand anyway. Yeah, I think Charming Prince is probably the most cuttable card, and I think Fire and Ice is fine. Light and Shadow could be good too, but I think I could try to fit Relic in. Yeah, I think I should Rest in Peace, but I guess I'm not Relic. Yeah, maybe we just put Relic instead of Ephemerate. Ephemerate, though, is such a sweet source of card advantage and so forth. Dang it, we're playing. We put this together to play Ephemerate. We're gonna try to play Ephemerate, and I have to imagine that black-red midrange. I have to imagine that Sanctifiers on Vec is are good against black-red midrange. Of course, they could discard it, but we shall see. Okay, finally we get a keepable 7. They mulled a 6, so they mulled 2 games in a row, but we mulled a 4, they mulled a 5, so if they mull one more time, we're even. Actually, I think we mulled a 5 and they mulled a 4, so maybe we're even now anyway. Alrighty. And I have to imagine they take the Sanctifier. It's okay though, we'll draw another one. We don't want to play the Mortar Pod next turn in case of Lightning Skelemental. And more discard. Annoying. That's interesting. Alright, the annoyingness continues. Okay. Well, that's good. In fact, I think we're going to do that right now before they can remove it. I'm just a little bit worried about Lightning Skelemental. So they could remove this to prevent another card draw, but hey, if they're Fatal Pushing Wall of Omens, I'm happy. Alrighty, so we'll try to Flickerwisp, I guess, our Wall of Omens. Well, first we'll Ephemerate, and I guess this is the moment of truth, whether they have a removal spell or not. Okay, pretty sweet. So let's Flickerwisp our Wall of Omens. See, this is why Wall of Omens is in the deck. It's mostly just an outlet for the blinking. I did actually have Thraben Inspector before, but I think Wall of Omens is better because it just straight draws a card. It's better on defense. I don't have to pay 2 to crack the clues. It's also like, you know, it's also just more reliable. It's less vulnerable to like getting lightning bolted in response to an Ephemerate or something. I think this is just the ideal blink outlet if I've got nothing better to blink. I like it at least. Season Pyro. You'll get caught up in the Season Pyro. Season Pyro. Alright, yeah, Dark Confidant's a little bad in the face of Mortipod. So I definitely feel a lot better about this game. Hope it's not Thoughtseize. Okay. Alright, so... Ooh. Man, I wanted a Solitude, but now I'm definitely inclined. Yeah, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Stoneforge Mystic, I'm going to get sort of Fire and Ice, and I'm just going to plop it right into play. I don't want this to get discarded. Yeah, I could get Kolagon commanded, but yeah, I just don't want this to get discarded. Plus, it's the most mana efficient thing for me to do with my mana this turn anyway. Alright, bye-bye Wall of Omens. I only kind of need one wall anyway. Alright, so I think I equip the Germ token and then go to town. Ooh, Caldera. Don't mind if I do. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. I'll also equip the Germ token, why not? I guess equipping the the Caldera Germ token is a little better in the face of Fatal Push, but I think we're going to be in pretty good shape regardless. Plus, I may want to sacrifice this to a Lightning Skelemental off the top, but again, I think we're going to be okay. Alright, well they took game 1 in pretty convincing fashion, and now we served it right back in game 2, so let's see. Not bad. Not bad. Part of me wants to squeeze Relic back in, but I mean, really Ephemerate is a big reason, a big thing that got us back into that game, so let's continue on the never-ending quest of Ephemerating. Well, we got a screwy hand again. Alright, I mean, I guess we don't need 2 Solitudes. You know something else interesting we can do? We can Solitude, and then we can Path our Solitude while it's before its Evoke trigger, if we need a land really bad. That's actually something I haven't thought of before, but that's pretty cool. Little fun interactions like this. Alrighty. Little fun interactions. We play Dark Confidant, I'm gonna... okay. I like Solitude, but I think it's the most pitchable here, just given that we already mulled one, so we don't have Ephemerate or anything. Well, speak of the... I just don't want to get hit. Well, you know, here's the thing, so we are going to do this. So, like, here's the thing, we could get hit by a Lightning Skelemental, but if we do... I'm going to get Batter Skull. But if we do, then we get to sneak Batter Skull into play. Seems pretty good to me. Okay, alright. But I think I'm in a pretty decent spot here now. I have to check my phone. I think I'm in a pretty decent spot now with Stoneforge Mystic and... Oh, I could... No, but let's play the Stoneforge Mystic and Ephemerate combo. I'm actually going to get Mortar Pod. Mortar Pod I think is surprisingly good in this matchup. The more 1 toughness creatures they have, the more Mortar Pod really pulls its weight. I think I can discard the Skyclave. Or maybe Mortar Pod, actually. Maybe I just, yeah, I secretly put Mortar Pod into play just to be fodder. Okay, maybe I just kind of lucked out that I made the right play there, but I think... Alright, Ephemerate time. So they might just have another removal spell, but still, you know, we fought the good fight. Oh, nice. So I have to imagine they don't have another removal spell, so we're going to get Caldera. Otherwise, you'd have to imagine that they would have used it in response, unless they've got, like, Dead Boar or something, Dread Boar or whatever it is. I'm going to put Caldera in right now before we try to blink again. Nice. The bound on my shoulder makes me happy. Nice, man. Ephemerating a Stoneforge Mystic, pretty sweet, if I do say so myself. That's a pretty good play as well. Alright, let's get Liliana out of here. We can start working on the life total next turn. Alright, part of me wants to path my own Stoneforge, but clearly Aether Vial is just a better play here. And I'm not really that worried about Kroxa. The only thing is what to discard, Path or... I mean, yeah, Path and Equipment or Skyclave, because you can make an argument that we should... Ooh. Okay. As great as Sword of Fire and Ice is, I think this is one of the most... Yeah. Yeah, I like this. We want to gain some life back. We want to have an answer to Kroxa. Maybe we were too cute with the Skyclave, though. Maybe we should just hold up another path in case of a Lightning Skelemental or something. Still, we kind of want to put the Batter Skull into play the Aether Vial. We could block the, or we could just gain the life next turn, hopefully. If they play Kroxa, the question is, do we discard the Batter Skull or the Skyclave? So maybe we shouldn't have played the Aether Vial, actually. I think we're going to discard the Batter Skull, believe it or not. That just can't be correct. Can attack next turn. Or block. This might be incorrect, but yeah, definitely should have held the Aether Vial. So I didn't factor in Croxa, but it's okay. I mean, Aether Vial, Batter Skull goes a long way. And, yeah, okay. Let's see, do we attack? Do we take 9? Maybe we wait on attacking. I mean, because once we can equip the Batter Skull to the Caldera, then I have to imagine it's just GG. Yeah, we're in top deck mode. I don't think they have an answer to Caldera too, because it's indestructible. Famous last words. Oh, sorry, bud. I didn't. It's stupid. It really shouldn't have indestructible. I agree. They're like, why does this have indestructible? I thought only the token did. Yep, I thought so too. I literally did the same thing with Obosh Red. We've been there. We have been there. It might be sinking in that they don't actually have an answer to Caldera. And now the fun begins. Now the fun begins. A 9/9 lifelink, indestructible, exiles creatures. This indestructible haste. First strike. How fun. How fun. How fun. Yay. Yay, 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 yay. I suppose one out is they could lightning bolt like Argonaut's Rampage or something to get me to sack the token. That would be. Oh, but they don't have enough cards in hand. Okay. So I think we's got it. Yeah, we're definitely getting ghost quartered out here. I'll probably ghost quarter one of their castle, just because we got these spare cards. All right, take 3 damage, trample. Too bad it doesn't exile first. Gotta love it. The only problem is against actual Tron. Those Field of Runes could really help. Alright, GG's. If actual Tron makes more of a comeback, then I may have to bring the fields back in, but definitely the mana is a little smoother with the Horizon lands. Alright, anyway. Alright, match 2. Match 2, let's see. Yeah, I think this hand has potential. Charming Prince is cute, but since most of Charming Prince's power would be blinking a Stoneforge Mystic, why not just have another Stoneforge Mystic? Good against discard, good against removal. This way we can play it on turn 2. Hopefully we draw a land, and then play another one with Ephemerate backup on turn 3. That would be pretty good, in my humble opinion. Actually, we don't even need to draw a 3rd land because we got Aether Vial. Oh, that's good. That's good. Oh. Excuse me. Yeah, Mortar Pod is pretty good, I think, here. Bye-bye, Mortar Pod. Or maybe bye-bye Stoneforge Mystic. Hard to say. Maybe bye-bye both Stoneforge Mystics. We shall see. Okay. Okay. Alright, I guess they couldn't deal with that. I guess that's cool. I have to imagine Sanctifier Infect is pretty decent. But let's see, first of all, do we want Body and Mind or Light and Shadow? Light and Shadow is better against the removal. Yeah, let's get Light and Shadow. It'll protect most of our creatures from Lightning Bolt, but not Flickerwisp, though. Yeah, maybe we just still go with good old Fire and Ice. We could also play Body and Mind. But yeah, let's just go with Sword of Fire and Ice, because also the draw card and deal 2 damage seem relevant. I think Charming Prince can probably come out for the set, for maybe probably Relic, but Sanctifier. I want to squeeze Sanctifier in here, but it's not sure what to take out. I think Flickerwisp is kind of too important. Unless I play Ren and 6, then suddenly Flickerwisp can still be good, but definitely loses a lot of its luster. Yeah, taking out Flickerwisp is something I don't do very often, but let's assume they've got let's assume they're playing Jund and they've got it could be BG Rock, but let's assume they're playing Jund and they're playing Ren and 6. So yeah, I think this is where it's at. I could label this deck Jund mid-range, but I think just saying Jund implies mid-range. So it feels bad to ditch an Apparition, but I think maybe we didn't need 2 Sanctifiers, but I kind of like having a backup one in case they discard one. Okay. Kind of want to run out the Sanctifier first, because I'm just worried if I run out the Stoneforge, it'll just immediately get destroyed. Alrighty. Peat land. Na 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 peat land. Na 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 peat land. Peat land. Peatland. Batman. I said took Stoneforge. Well, at least that makes our decision on what to play on turn 2 easier. And Sanctifier plus Sword of Fire and Ice. Mwah. I like to see that. It's a little redundant with the protections, though, but, you know. Nope, I think we path this. Because, I mean, we're going to have to path it sooner or later. And, I mean, yeah, we get an extra mana next turn. But, you know, we also give ourselves an extra mana this turn, so... And there's another apparition for our enjoyment. Also, okay, so they're 4-color. I'm going to call them Wet Jund. Unless they're actually, what's it called? Sultai. Suddenly, Sword of Fire and Ice definitely seems better. Alrighty. Play Luris. They don't play Luris. Oh, they do play Luris. No, they don't have the mana. It's like they knew we drew Skyclave somehow. Okay. I guess I could have done this first in case I drew Mortar Pod. Yeah, alright, works for me. So when they play Luris, we'll crack so they don't get the bubble. Yeah, you know, Horizon Land's definitely good. Maybe I was definitely mistaken to doubt them. I'm gonna hold on to the Relic. This was for Luris, but with Relic, I'm not as concerned about Luris. Oops, oopsie daisy. Yeah, that was dumb. We should have just played the wall and passed. Because the Relic would have both prevented Luris shenanigans and yeah, I doubt the opponent's thinking about this too deeply, but clearly that was a misplay. Of course, we're all just tempted to just be like, you know, oh yeah, you know. But yeah, but the reality is if they win this, I probably threw it away. All right, well, let's draw a card. I guess let's just do this. Yeah, let's just do this. Nope, can't take nothing. And if we still somehow win this, yeah, even with that massive misplay. That earth-shattering misplay right there. Yep, draw a card. Pretty good, pretty good. Not going to lie, pretty good. Man, I'd love to play Solitude, but since they don't seem to have a removal spell, I'm just going to do this right now. I think I'm going to play this to try to set up a good Solitude play. Next turn. Plus we're working our way towards maybe eventually playing Caldera. Alright, Unearth. Okay, this was a mistake. I did not mean to be auto-yielding here. Yeah, I did not mean to be auto-yielding. At least if they drew a removal spell, better for them to use it on this. And I guess a card's a card, right? Still hold back. If Drawn in the Lock is their main counterspell, then... So we could go after Noble Hierarch, but I think we have to go after Lurrus. As tempting as other options may be, I think we have to go after Lurrus. Well, I'm gonna block, because we got more walls where this came from, so... And if they play a black instant, they have to play like a blue or green instant, because if they play a black instant, it just immediately gets exiled, so... Rep Decay. Alright, well this is a little concerning. I suppose I could... I don't think we need a block just yet. Yeah, see? So first let's just draw a friendly neighborhood card like this. Alright, then we'll just do this again. Gradually thin ourselves a little bit. Then I guess we play this, right? I mean... Yeah, then we play Relic in case they got Drawn in the Lock. And then do we Ephemerate the Tude? Alright, let's try to Ephemerate the Tude. Do this on their turn. Alrighty. Let's actually get rid of both the Ice Fangs. Alrighty. I'll just block with the walls for now. So let's get rid of their land. I can get rid of my land next turn. Let's try to get rid of the other Ice Fang. This is a good one. I think we're actually going to get Mortar Pod, believe it or not. Yeah, I'm going to get Mortar Pod, of all things. We could. Yeah, I really want to just try to get rid of that Tarmogoyf and draw a card. Alright, now I'm a little bit concerned about a Icefang Quaddle, but that's where maybe suiting up my Wall of Omens comes into play. Snappy. Alright, well I guess we'll just remove that too then. And if they block, I'm pretty sure I'll just trade with the Tude. Oh, okay. Alright, well that's fine, whatever. I got a Caldera coming up next play. I don't care. Just kidding. Oh man, did we actually win despite that horrendous misplay? Yeah, I'll block. We could use the life. And we got a Caldera coming up. Cuss Bloosh. Cuss Blooshy Sploosh. Wow, how on earth did we talk about outjunding the Jund. I mean, they got mana flooded, but we got way more mana flooded. So like, jeez. Oh, all right, we won. Okay, I guess that was a game 2. Wow, that felt like game 1 for some reason. All right. Well, that's insane. I felt like I threw away the game, but still we won somehow. Sweet. Alrighty. Alright. Match 3. I like it. I like it. I like it. Yes, I do. I do indeed like it. Alright, Charlie Liquids. Charlie Leaks. Charlie Liquids or Charlie Liquids? Oh, wait a minute. I think I'm auto-yielding even though it's my turn. Let's not do that. Okay, so let's see how this one goes. I guess we'll just telegraph we're a Taxes type of deck. Now, there's actually no taxing in this Taxes deck, but still. Okay, well, let's get our Stoneforge game going. And I have to say, wow, thank you all for the suggestion, on Twitter at least, for the Horizon lands. I do like those castles, but probably the Horizon lands are just better. Yeah, Caldera, because we gotta go fast, as Sonic the Hedgehog would say. Ooh, I thought this was Titan, but now I'm not so sure. Oh, it's this deck. Well, if they're using Rockwool, then at least we kind of have that covered. And I want to crash in with Caldera, but actually there could be some value to be had by just killing the plant, believe it or not. We could also Skyclave the Clue. Skyclave the Clue. Yeah, believe it or not, if this is the deck I think it is, then there's actually a lot of value to be had from just taking them off of permanents. Because I think they're going to play that card that makes them, you know, shuffle all their permanents, and like the less permanents they have in play, the less likely they are to actually hit something good, which we kind of have to count on. Oh, I can't hit a clue because it says non-token. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alrighty. Well, yeah, a Caldera would have been way better. Yeah, my bad. So, sorry that the horrendous misplays aren't over, but if there's an Emrakul in the mix, we can deal with it with Solitude at least. Okay. Ooh, caught it right before I sneeze. Chancellor of the Forge. Risen Reef, Shardless Agent. Goblin Dark Dwellers, Shardless Agent. Wavesifter, Misty, Omna. Outburst. Trying to get a feeling for everything they have. Okay. Alright, well, do your worst. Okay, that's not too bad, although it depends on, this is an elemental, and I guess it gets... We may need to path to Exile. How did this come into play? Oh, because the Risen Reef. Well, at least that's not an elemental. Yeah, so we may need to pass the Risen Reef, and probably Solitude one too, so things don't go too nutty. Omniscience definitely makes Omniscience or Omniscience. Yeah, so we don't want them to draw a bunch of cards. Yeah, because they would draw cards off of those elemental tokens. Alrighty. Well, that's better than an Emrakul. Alright, it's better than Emrakul. I guess I don't really need mana anymore. I think that's better than Emrakul. Yeah, that's meaningless, that 4, because they can just cast everything for free. Alright, I can't do this anymore, thankfully. Well, what on earth would they even need to spend mana on now? Alrighty. Oh yeah, because they're going to lose their Omniscience. don't think putting the Caldera in play would have made a difference, so at least the misplay didn't matter. Draw a card, draw 2 cards. Draw lots more cards from the Risen Reef. I guess Cracking Clues is something you can do with the mana. Come on. Hurry up, opponent. Okay, X+. That's a lot of goblins. Alright, lots of goblins. They have haste. I guess this is a little flashier than a Merfolk. And a little bit better when it's in your opening hand. Okay, I'll block here. I don't know what gives me the option to block when, like, when I clearly can't. So I had the ability to ramp, but, so absolutely Eidolon for sure. We don't really have much else, though, unfortunately, for this matchup. Fire and Ice is probably... Actually, this is maybe a matchup where Body and Mind might actually be good, because we could maybe run them out of their, combo pieces. Maybe it's Batter Skull. It's kind of iffy. I don't think they're really going to win by going aggro that much, so we're going to play Body, Mind, and Fire and Ice, which we normally don't do, but I think this is justified here. Path to Exile seems pretty meh. Wall of Omens, it's just a good Ephemerate and Charming Prince and all these other card target. Alright. Yeah, the problem with Path is that if we kill a creature, it just gets them another permanent. It's just shuffle away, so... So, yeah, this game kind of comes down to, Eidolon, so... Alright, Eidolon it is. Yeah, Charming Prince is probably the most disposable here. Ephemerate can just lead to more nonsense with Stoneforge. Let's Stoneforge it up. Yeah, let's get the Caldera. I remember when this was first boiled, there was some doubt about whether or not this would see play, but yeah, for sure. This is nuts. Okay, they investigate twice. Cool store, bro. Alright. Let's make sure we keep the right one. Let's play an Eidolon. So at the very least, I'll need to spend next turn playing Foundation Breaker. Which admittedly is one problem with Eidolon. It's not as good in that regard as Archon, but it is much better against Lightning Bolt. So trade-offs, you know. And I'm sure they play Lightning Bolt too. Okay. I think we blink and we get Mortar Pod. Or we just get Mortar Pod now. Yeah, or maybe we just play this. No. Yeah. Let's get Mortar Pod. Let's attack first. Yep. See, Mortar Pod does have its uses. Ah! My bad. I knew I should have used the Stoneforge ability. I was about to do it, but for some reason I forgot about my Metalog. Dang it. My Eidolon affects me too. Damn it, like more, excuse the French, more fair, old, classic design where these cards are symmetrical. Why aren't you designed like Karn the Great Creator, where you only affect my opponent? I don't want to have trade-offs. I just want to win all the time with no downsides. Wizards, please fix. Alright. Alright. I see no reason why Karn and Teferi shouldn't like be symmetrical. Teferi would be so much more fair if it made both players unable to play at instant speed. It'd still be kind of annoying though, but nowhere near as bad. Oh, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go boom. Living weapon. You'll get caught up in the living weapon. Living weapon. Alrighty. And I guess we get Sword of Fire and Ice. It does just kill quicker. Well, there's the body in mine anyway, just for fun. And of course, we once again cut ourselves off from playing the Mortar Pod, but this time it wasn't intentional. I guess it was intentional. Yeah, maybe I didn't actually need to go get this. It's probably a mistake. I mean, we still might end up winning. No, a Braid? Okay, good. Well, a Braid actually wouldn't deal with Eidolon, so. Okay. Alrighty. Gotta love it. Alrighty. Well, they can't play another spell though, because they already played Omnath. I guess they can crack some clues. Come on. Don't have unlimited time. But at least we get to Sword of Fire and Ice, kill the Risen Reef. There is some serious consideration of body and minding though, but no, we want to kill the Risen Reef. I guess the Mortar Pod just won't come up. Unless we draw a land, in which case... Actually, do we just win? Yeah, I think we just win. So here's how this is going to work. We're going to go boom, put this into play, equip this, play Mortar Pod, hit the Risen Reef. That's blue, so they'll have to chump block the Caldera, which is definitely a good thing that we like. Alright. Yeah, and so it's not like a win necessarily this turn, but it is a very, very positive development, to say the least, in Modern. Actually, this protects from Foundation Breaker. That's something to consider, actually. Alright, I think that's that. But they wouldn't have had the blocked If that's this foundation, this body mine. Alright. So I'm definitely gonna bring in Foundation Breaker now. The cool thing though is Ephemerate can possibly protect our Eidolon, but the problem is we have to wait until turn 4. If we have an Aether Vial, we might be able to protect it with Charming Prince though. That is something to consider. He might also just have more than one in our hand. There are trade-offs for sure with Eidolon of Rhetoric. I like the Eidolons, but I don't like the one mana and no Aether Vial. What about this? Well, I guess we can just resign to our fate. We can fetch ourselves, because the problem is that yeah. So one thing actually we could do is we could do the 2'd Ephemerate combo, but I don't want to just do that just on the plant. I don't know if they got a big enough board presence to really... Well, there's our Eidolon of Rhetoric. I almost want... I'm gonna get Caldera, but I almost wanted to get what's it called? I almost wanted to get Mortar Pod. Yeah, and I think we have to play the Eidolon. Please don't tell me they've got Counterspell. I didn't see any last game. Let's do this, but actually we can't respond. Well, we can respond before, okay. Only 4 cards, so like they've only got 4 chances here. Okay, these are not bad, but they are also... I think I need to zap the Omnath like right now. Yeah, I think I need to zap the Omnath right now. A bit of subtlety. I guess gain 4 life, okay. I gained mana, but whatever. I don't know what I can do with that. Can't play another spell, so. But they can crack loose though. So that is kind of cool. Guess I should have attacked first. I missed on 1 point of damage. That's cool, that's cool. Okay. Come on, land. That'll be... Yeah, so instead, let's just do this, and... Oops. And then we can Ephemerate our Stoneforge Mystic at the end of their turn. We want to go for the Sword of Fire and Ice possibility. Question is, what is going to be our secondary sword? Body and Mind, or yeah, I don't know. It's gotta be Mortar Pod. Sword of Fire and Ice for sure. Actually, let's turn off auto yields, because right now we're going to put Sword of Fire and Ice in play. And we're going to go get Mortar Pod. Nice. We're also kind of thinning our deck from these non-land cards. Come on, land. Not land, but I guess next turn we'll be patient. Oh yeah, I guess we played the spell from the Ephemerate. Oh, I was worried about Brazen Borrower. Okay. Alrighty. Seasoned Pyro. The most seasoned of Pyromancers. Goblin Dank Dwellers. Alright, Fire and Ice time. Oof. Hopefully they don't have Force of Vigor. Oh, that's flying, okay. Why weren't they attacking earlier if I had flying? Alright, anyway. The Tude is good. Yeah, I love equipping Sword of Fire and Ice to this guy because it has Trample. Yeah, Trample is pretty cool. I do love Trample. Alrighty, cool. If I go Stoneforge Mystic, I could go Body and Mind next turn. But I already basically have the win, but I could have the Mega Win. And this could help in case somehow they go off. Yeah, the problem is a few chump blocks and they're not necessarily dead. Actually, if I kill the token, then they are dead next turn because they can chump block 2 damage, but then they take 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Make it just slightly less likely they can win. And I think if I 2'd this, I think I win. Yeah. I know it might seem weird. We're gonna 2 that. I think that's GG. GG's. Yeah, they just couldn't find their foundation breaker. Alright, match 4. We're 3-0 so far. Whenever we've gone 3-0, we've always lost the last two. Hopefully, we'll change that this time. If this might be the kind of hand to do it, we can only hope. Now, one nice thing about Aether Vial actually is we could find ourselves with only like one land, cracking a horizon land if the rest of our, if the Aether Vial is just putting all the creatures in play anyway. So we'll see. We shall see. Are they going to keep going down further? Mulligan to 5. Alright. Aether Vial. Aether Vial, not Vial. V-I-A-L, not V-I-L-E. So, seems like Infect. Alrighty, well, let's see here. Ideally, we'll produce a blocker. All of Omans can absorb a few hits. Ideally, I'd rather not blow off a path because I want to save that for Blighted Agent if they're playing that. Ideally, but things could definitely go wrong here. So I am just going to pass, though, because I'm much more worried about Blighted Agent, and I do have Path to Exile in case things get too frisky, like a scale up into Might of Okrosa, for example. And next turn, I've got Flickerwisp online. Potentially Flickerwisp and Ephemerate. Alright, I'll take 2 poison. Alright, now that I think I'll flush out my my path. I was gonna hold it, but couldn't pass up that opportunity. Ooh, not bad. I want to save the Flickerwisps for actually flicking. I could crack the Horizon Land, but I don't think we need to do that just yet. Okay, Blighted Agent. Okay. We may want to get Mortar Pod, actually. We could have actually got Mortar Pod, put it into play. We may just go Caldera, just to go on the offensive. Yeah, we'll get Caldera. We got a Flickerwisp plus an Ephemerate to try to keep things under control. If they didn't have this Pendlehaven up, I probably would just go for Mortar Pod. Alright, that's cool too. Let's Already. Yes, suddenly that gives us a way faster clock. Yeah, Caldera for sure is a very, very important part of what makes Modern, of what makes our deck tick. You know, I think I'm going to flick it. Well, actually, I'll end of turn flick it. I'll take the 3, but I'll end of turn flick it. That seems like a good strategy to me. Because that way it goes until my end step. Maybe I didn't need to keep, actually. I didn't need to... Anyway, I can only play one Flickerwisp at a time. Yeah, I probably should have. Okay. I think I'm pretty good on... But I did probably take 3 for no reason, because I could have easily just flicked it if they would have protected. I could have Ephemerated. But the only problem with that, though, is that it doesn't, like, permanently deal with anything. Ready. Yeah, this is still, I think, a pretty good situation, because now the Ephemerate's still essentially a removal spell. Whereas if I just did that trick to prevent 3 damage, it wouldn't, like, you know, because it's a removal spell, basically, because they're basically dead on the crackback next turn. I guess there's no reason why I shouldn't have just attacked with the Stoneforge, too. Yep. See, if they had Sajiri Step, they could drop Sajiri Step, force my hand, I'd have to Flickerwisp, then they could, Vines of Vastwood, then I'd Path, then the Vines of Vastwood again, then I'd Ephemerate, and I guess I'd win anyway, but we won't always have all the removal spells. Yeah, I'll take the hit again. Yep, I'll take. And I'll end of turn flip the Wisp again. I guess actually I didn't need to Flickerwisp it. I could have Flickerwisp the Stoneforge. Okie dokie. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to Flickerwisp the Ink Moth. That way they can't block. Alrighty. Alrighty. Opponent disconnected. Alright, let's see. Ooh, Eidolon might actually be good here. Though now they don't necessarily need to play multiple spells. Probably better than Wall of Omens, although drawing the cards could be nice too. Put Eidolon instead of a Wall. And I think Fire and Ice has got to be the best. It's the only one of these that lets us shoot stuff down. The Wolf token can block Glistener Elf, but the rest of their stuff has evasion, so... Such a weird thing here, this Flickerwisp. Yeah, Eidolon could definitely be good, preventing more than one spell. Okay, alright. It basically makes it so they have to go for the kill. Yeah, actually I do think Eidolon's good. Because it basically means they can't protect their creature. I mean, they can, but only once. Like, they have to, like, rely on Exalted Triggers and Pendelhaven. They can't do much else without protection. This hand is kind of... This hand is kind of not exciting. However, I'm going to keep it because it does have Mortar Pod, and we could draw into other removal. And if we do, the Ephemerate's going to be pretty nice. Unfortunately, they have Pendelhaven. They're probably playing the 4 of Pendelhaven main, which I approve of. Hopefully, they don't just have the kill. Okay. And they kept up the Pendelhaven. Well, we'll Mortar Pod the Noble Hierarch. Okay, Solitude, that's a good one. You know what, maybe change of plans. Maybe we'll Solitude and then Ephemerate. Now let's just Mortar Pod the Noble Hierarch. They could use a protection spell, but then that's one less protection spell they have. And we still have a fallback of playing Solitude. Pitching the Ephemerate if need be. Oh yeah, we couldn't actually, because we didn't have a white card to pitch and Ephemerate, so this was always kind of where we wanted to be. Hopefully we have a white card to pitch, because... Ooh, Snakeskin Well. Snakeskin Veil. Not bad, not bad. Alright, we'll take... Oh, actually, this is lethal. I guess we should have done this before the attack. Yeah. Yep, I gained them unnecessary life. They should be at 5 less life, but they concede anyway. I mean, you know, they could have drawn another Infect creature, but I guess, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I'm actually in pretty good shape with the Mortar Pods. Yeah, I'm in pretty good shape. We'll see. I guess we'll see next time, but I think they conceded prematurely, but I'm satisfied. I probably would have won anyway. Alright, match 5. We're playing for the trophy. Let's see if we can actually. Ooh, and is this the Obosh? I mean, are we facing our Obosh red deck? We'll see how we can stack up to it. I'm not. If it's our Obosh red deck, I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried. So I've got choices. I could path. I may just want to wait till Mortar Pod. Let's see, but I don't really play anything on the 2-drop slot anyway, so I'll probably just path. And I'll path when they attack because they could dash with another monkey. Yeah. I don't like doing this. I'll let them get one hit. But then they might just play Blood Moon, and then I might just be a goner. Yeah, we'll do this. Good call on not playing the land, because I was almost tempted to let them get a hit, but they could have got a hit into a Blood Moon. Okay. Okay, nice. Steering Rice Channeler. Okay, so if it's our deck, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I know the Mortar Pod is appealing, but I'm going to play the Stoneforge Mystic first. Well, maybe not actually, because we do have a Plains here. I just forgot that we'd fetch a basic. Yeah, alright, Mortar Pod it is. So I get one less Delirium. I think this is the deck we posted. Yeah, okay. We saw that one coming, but thankfully I think we can still cast all our spells. Okay, we can't cast Flickerwisp though, unfortunately. Normally I would have gotten Mortar Pod, but yeah, Sword of Fire and Ice, because I can't imagine that Stoneforge is long for this world. And if it does survive, we can drop a Batterskull anyway. It's gonna feel bad if we beat our own deck, because because I mean this opponent is presumably playing for the 5-0 too. Well, almost Delirium. Yeah, I'm guessing not quite. Well, you know, because I didn't discard a card. So Delirium definitely on the table. If this wasn't a mountain, we could have Ephemerated. Well, let's play what we can. But this is definitely becoming concerning. Yeah, ideally I would have liked to Mortar Pod this thing. Maybe another. Well, we're getting close to being able to play Batterskull. We may need to hold up path for Obosh. Yeah, they're gonna take. I got a feeling they got Fury, so my Batterskull might not even do that much. What am I supposed to do though? Just not play Batterskull? I know from experience, though, from the other side, that this is far from a secure spot. I'm guessing it's a Fury, or just Flame Slash. That works too. Good thing the Bloodstained Mirrors came after the Blood Moon. Alright, so I'm going to take 6 damage, but at least I can path the Obosh. Yeah, see, Blood Moon doing work even against a monocolor deck. Ay. I want to equip this, and I want to equip this with Batter Skull and be able to block, but let's hopefully we draw a White Source. I mean, at least, very least, I could equip it with Mortar Pod and sort of Fire and Ice. So I've got a heavily equipped wall here. So I'm gonna have to block the Obosh, try to ping the Dragon Race Channeler, and I'm almost certainly gonna eat a burn spell. So, oh, they're playing Exquisite Firecraft instead of Hammer Garden, I guess. Hammer Garden would have done the same thing though. Yep, Blood Moon got me. Definitely that's an issue. Well, this is one of the matchups where Eidolon might be better, and Sanctifier. Dang it, I need my white mana. So Wall is good, but honestly Wall is not as good as Sanctifier. Charming Prince is also one of the more gimmicky cards. Flickerwisp actually is probably not at its best either. Cyclic Declaration. Yeah, we'll play Wall of Omens. Just very good defensive type card. Charming Prince. Yeah. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if we need Eidolon. Because we don't actually play Lava Dart, but if they're copying my list, then they're playing Spikefield Hazard, so Flickerwisp still has some vulnerabilities. Charming Prince could be decent for life gain also. Yeah, we'll play some Charming Prince instead of Eidolon. Yeah, our deck is just not as concerned about either the 4 toughness or the life gain. Here's the thing, though. I want to squeeze a Sword of Light and Shadow into here, though, because the life gain could definitely matter, and the recursion could matter. I don't want to cut a Batter Skull Caldera or Mortar Pod, though, so I might just bring in 3 Charming Prince, and yeah, and 1 Light and Shadow. Yep, cutting a Charming Prince seems to be the play that makes the most sense. Alright. So we draw a Sword of Light and Shadow, we know that it could have been a Charming Prince. Actually, I'm having second thoughts about the Light and Shadow, because the Charming Prince itself is life gain. Well, we will keep. If need be, we could even Ghost Quarter or something to play around Blood Moon. Alright, Charming Prince. Sanctifier. You'll get caught up in the Sanctifier. Sanctifier! Oh, okay, they got Fire Spell Mode. I guess I should have played Wall. Curse us, our deck is built to always have the answers. Yeah, Wall of Omens. I could Ephemerate right now, but maybe they'll try to Flame Slash, and we can Ephemerate in response. Okay, I'm feeling a Blood Moon, because usually... Okay, we're out of on. Okay, there's nothing instant speed that I think can deal with this, so we're gonna Ephemerate. Let's turn off auto yields. We actually don't want... We want the auto draw from this thing, but... Alright. So... That's what we're going to do. I'm going to do this. We're trying to play around Blood Moon as much as possible. Although they might have sided it out, realizing that it was not necessarily at its best. Yeah, Charming Prince. Yeah, gotta love the uses for wall here. Also gotta love that it blocks Ragavan. That is fine, that is fine. Man, Dragon Ray's Channeler is so good. What was I thinking ever, like, cutting this? Swift Field Hazard. It gets exiled, though. Alrighty. On my shoulders, alrighty. Alright. Land in the graveyard. Okay, we can block the Ragavan at least. The problem is this is going to make our Flagstones awkward. Yeah, we need to get our aggro going. Man, I'm actually going to Solitude the Dragon Race Channeler right now. Yeah, what is there to wait? I probably should have done it on my turn. Okay, no instant that they can respond with. We've only got 80 instants in our most recent list, Spike Field and Lightning Bolt. So, okay, well, or that. I guess they must have just drew that, otherwise there's no reason not to do that on upkeep. We'll have, while being able to Surveil one. Okay. So we're actually going to be able to Caldra next turn. Which is pretty cool, in my opinion. We could go after Blood Moon, but I don't think I actually need to. Although being able to crack the Sunbaked could be good. The problem is they get a 3/3 token. That's the problem. All right, Caldra time. Yeah, this makes the mana flood all worth it. This is one reason why Caldra is in the deck. Okay, all right. Nice. Alrighty. One. See if we can actually trophy. That'd be pretty insane. So actually, I don't think we need Light and Shadow. Actually, I'm gonna bring the Charming Prince back because I do think the Charming Prince. There's a lot to like about the Charming Prince with blinking the wall, also blinking Solitude, blinking Skyclave Apparition, gaining life. In this particular matchup, it does a lot, and I don't think I need 2 swords. This hand is way too speculative. Okay, this hand's got everything I need. Batterskull is a little speculative. I think we can hopefully just grab it later on. Stoneforge Mystic, that's a good one. Although I'll probably lead on the Sanctifier because they need specifically Pirate Spellbound to deal with it, whereas anything deals with Stoneforge Mystic. Alright, hopefully that's a mana screw situation. Yep, Sanctifier. Hopefully they were hoping for a good stomp target. Alrighty. Ooh, pillage. Yeah, that's a little awkward, because I may want to path this if they Blood Moon, but nah. I want to get Sword of Fire and Ice, but let's actually just get Batterskull, because I actually don't. I'd rather if they can't play both a if they can't play both a Flame Slash or a Lightning Bolt and a Blood Moon, I want to force them to deal with the Stoneforge. Well, they might be able to do both. Okay, Stomp. Okay, Pirate Spellbomb. Okay. Man. Precarious situation if they got a Blood Moon. Okay, they may not have a Blood Moon. Okay, I'm going to wait because worst case scenario, we just path and give them another throw. Okay, and then we Skyclave Apparition. Much better in my opinion. Problem is they get a 3/3 token, but still, I think that was still a good use of our turn. The 3/3 token is an issue, though. I think we're going to path our own token. I mean, I think we're going to path our own Skyclave if they remove it, which I'm sure they will. Yeah, we're going to path it. We really need to get to this Batterskull mana. And we got another Sanctifier, which we're just going to eat the Pyrite Spellbomb, so I don't even know. Yeah, we need to save the path for the Obosh. Yeah, and then hopefully just land the Batterskull after that. Dragon Range. Alright, well we can Skyclave that. Part of me wants to just jam Batterskull, but if they have another pillage, then we're mega screwed. Skyclave would be another decent option. It might also bait out their Pyrite Spellbomb, which would make for the Sanctifier being much better. That 3/3 token is really gonna do work, though. See, the thing is, if they cut Hammerbook Garden, though, then they might seriously flood out. At least in our experience, that's a very real possibility. Fury, okay. Still gotta save this path for the Obosh. Alright, well now we're gonna play the Batterskull because we literally have nothing better to do anyway. Can't Skyclave the Fury. Okay. Man, that Pyrite Spellbomb definitely doing work. Alright. GG's. Well, hopefully they trophied, at least. Yeah, it's all these Pirate Spellbombs. People making fun of Pirate Spellbomb. Man, this thing's for real. Seriously. Alrighty, post-league wrap-up. Okay, well, hey, we almost got the trophy. We were just match point away, but hey, can't complain too much when the only deck you lose to is pretty much our Obosh Hammer deck, Obosh Dragon Hammer. There didn't seem to be any hammers, but the concept seemed to be the same. And honestly, that Firecraft in both games would have been the same thing if it was a hammer. You know, they just would have had a little more flood insurance if they had hammer. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what else to say. Deck performed excellent. Blood Moon kind of juked us against that one game, but honestly, I think Game 2 and Game 3 showed that, you know, we definitely have the ability to play around Blood Moon. We just need to draw Flagstones and Ghost Quarter, and we're basically set. Or just draw most of our planes naturally. Only 8 planes can sometimes lead us to getting juked by Blood Moon, but I think that's a price willing to pay because, like, Blood Moon is not all over the place yet, but man, if our Obosh Hammer deck takes off, we might have to adjust this deck a little bit around our own deck of all things. But it's hard for me to imagine cutting the Flagstones because they make the Ghost Quarters so much better. They make the Ghost Quarters almost free, and it's hard to imagine cutting the Sunbaked Canyons because otherwise Flood does kind of become an issue. Yeah, I mean, other than that, we loved Wall of Omens. I think this is a build I can really get behind. I think this is finally, like, this might be basically it. I don't know how much further we can push Blink Blade, but it started off as Taxes, then it became Tax Blade, and now it's Blink Blade. The more and more these blink effects just impressed us. But yeah, well, we'll see until next time. Oh yeah, and just one little change. I think I am going to take the Eidolons out for Archons. A very small minor change. And let's just click away, click forward to make sure our decks, our saves, our deck changes saved. Yeah, and the non-basic land clause only affects our opponent. That's important. This would probably screw us over a lot if it affected us as well. That doesn't really, like, I don't know that really comes into play that much. It doesn't come into play much against us because we usually play, like, you know, monocolor decks that oftentimes the only non-basics we play come into play tapped anyway. So, but you know, we get to see how this will affect other decks that are multicolored and do want to play untapped non-basics more often. Yeah, but the main reason why I'm thinking Archon instead of Eidolon is basically Eidolon was in the deck because it was serving like a dual purpose. It was great against Prowess and it was good against the Cascade decks. But the thing is, it's not nearly as good against the Cascade decks because it's getting hit. Those Eidolons are getting hit by Foundation Breaker, you know, as we even saw, I believe. Or rather, we were afraid. We were living in fear of it getting hit by Foundation Breaker, and that's a fear we wouldn't have with Archon. And I just think that with all these blink effects, you know, Solitude, Skyclave Apparition, 12 blink effects, Path in the main, Wall of Omens for defense, Sanctifier for more pro-red in the side, you know, for a pro-red card in the sideboard. I think we've got our bases covered. As far as Prowess, I could be mistaken. Sometimes you can never use too many hate cards, and Eidolon is definitely way stronger against Prowess. It's excellent. It's excellent against Prowess. It's one of the best possible cards you could actually have against Prowess, and I think we've single-handedly won. I think actually we've been solidly favored ever since we've had Eidolon against, you know, mostly red-blue Prowess. Ever since, like, if we draw Eidolon and we cast it, it's like they basically can't remove it because they basically, unless they're playing a Flame Slash, which, you know, usually they're not, at least blue-red versions. They basically need Flame Slash, and, you know, we could Ephemerate it once, possibly anyway, even if they do. So maybe they might have to have it immediately, and we have to, like, not play it on 4 with an Ephemerate up, and they can't respond again, obviously, because of Ephemerate. I mean, because of the 1 spell per turn. But yeah, other than Flame Slash, they basically can't deal with Eidolon because they have to string 2 burn spells together, which they can't because they can only play 1 spell. You can also, like, Violet in and like surprise block a Dragon Rage Channeler before it has Delirium. You you know, there's a lot to like, which I suppose you could do with Archon too, but there's a lot to like about Eidolon, mostly because it can just be impossible for Prowess to kill, and it can also just be really hard for them to kill you when they're only firing off one like Lava Dart per turn. Lava Dart becomes so much worse when you can only play they can play one spell each turn. That being said, like I said, I think we're gonna have a favorable matchup against Prowess anyway, at least after sideboarding with the Sanctifiers. Even in the main deck, though, we've got so much removal now, and the walls, that we might even be okay. Definitely we weren't okay before, we might be okay now in the main deck. So, so because of that, I think we can afford to play a card that's a little bit better against the Cascade decks, because they can't play enchantment removal on it. Could be mistaken. Also, the flying is nice, and the other ability could come in handy. That's the only change I think I want to make it this time. Other than that, you know, the other 71 was perfect in my opinion. No complaints. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. Until next time, if you want to see more crazy content from Mr. Crazy, that's what M stands for in MHayashi, by the way. It stands for Mr. Crazy. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, like and subscribe, and see y'all next time.